All right, hey guys, I'm just going to walk you through this example for today's classwork, and then I'll make sure I leave you some answers to help you get through the practice problems. So looking at this first equation, you see that we have an absolute value equation on the right-hand side. So we've been practicing writing two equations, one that's a positive x plus 11 and one that's a negative x plus 11. So on that left-hand side, we'll have x plus 5 is equal to a positive x plus 11. And then I'm going to move down and write the next equation underneath. So x plus 5 is going to be equal to a negative x plus 11. And then we're going to solve these two equations. So up at the top, I'm going to go ahead and subtract x from each side. So you'll notice you have 5 is equal to 11. Okay, so when we look at our answer, we have 5 is equal to 11. Our x is canceled out. And this is never going to be a true statement. So never a true statement. Therefore, this graph, if you were to graph it on Desmos, only has one solution. So if we skip down to the next equation, this was our second related equation. So we write related equations. That's always the first step when you have absolute value equations. That just means we're writing two equations. This next step is to distribute that negative inside the absolute value bars. So the x plus 5 is going to stay the same. And then on the right-hand side, you'll have negative x minus 11. So now I want to get all my x terms on the same side. So I'm going to add x to each side. So take this one and add it to the left-hand side also. So now you'll have x plus x, which will give you 2x plus 5 equals negative 11. Then the next step is to subtract 5 from each side. So subtract 5 from each side, and then we're going to simplify that. So we have 2x is equal to negative 16. And then our last step would be to divide by 2. So we're going to divide by 2. Sorry, I ran out of room a little bit. So your final answer would be x is equal to negative 8. And again, there's only one solution because up at the top, when we solved the first equation, we got an answer that wasn't true. So 5 is not equal to 11, so these two graphs only cross at one spot. So these problems are just going to be practice problems for you guys to get used to solving absolute value equations. So pause the video and see if you can write the correct equations for number 8. Okay, so your first equation you should have x plus 8 is equal to 2x plus 1. And then we need to make the right side of the equation not only positive but negative. So you should have x plus 8 equals, and then in parentheses, you should have had the 2x plus 1 with the negative on the outside. So hopefully you did that correctly. So now you want to solve these equations and get all the x's on one side and all of the constants on the other, and then solve for x. So the first step that I would do in number 8 would be to subtract x from each side. That will leave you with 8 is equal to x plus 1. and then I would subtract 1 over to get the x by itself, leaving you with 7 is equal to x. On the other equation, you would need to distribute that negative inside those parentheses. So you have x plus 8 is equal to a negative 2x minus 1. And then we need to get all the x's on one side and constants on the other. So I'm going to choose to add the 2x over to the left side. So you get 3x plus 8 is equal to negative 1. Then I'm going to subtract the 8 from each side and get 3x is equal to negative 9. Remember, with these, you want to just add them down. And then our last step would be to divide by 3 with a final answer of x is equal to negative 3. So you want to always check your original equation and make sure that if you have a negative answer, that when you plug it back in, the absolute value is not going to be equal to that negative number. So these ones will hold true for the original equation, so your answers are negative 3 and 7. For the next one, we're still going to write the related equations. You can probably notice that there is a 3 right here, and that's fine. You're just going to leave it alone. So you want to make sure you are writing the related equations in regards to the second absolute value equation. So we need 3 times x minus 4 is equal to a positive 2x plus 5. And then you'll need a 3 times x minus 4 equal to a negative times the quantity of 2x plus 5. After solving these two equations, the two answers you should get are x equals 17 and 7/5. 7/5 is also equivalent to 1.4, so any equivalent form of that number would do. Okay, for this one, we're still going to start by writing two related linear equations. So we are going to have x plus 6 is equal to 2x, and x plus 6 is equal to negative 2x. So to finish these problems, you want to make sure you isolate the variables. So move all the variables to one side of the equation. So I'm going to move the x over on that first equation, and that will leave me with 6 is equal to 2x. Then divide by 2 on both sides, and you'll get 3 is equal to x. And you want to make sure that you see if this solution will make your original equation true. For the second equation, I'm still going to subtract the x over to the other side, and you get 6 is equal to negative 3x. This time dividing by negative 3. So we get negative 2 is equal to x. And again, we want to check our answer. So this one is going to be extraneous. And here's why. In my original absolute value equation, that x that I just solved for is a negative number. And because that's not an absolute value, it's going to give me a negative answer. So if I have the absolute value of x plus 6 and I set that equal to negative 4, this is not possible because absolute value has to be positive. So that's why x equals negative 2 is going to be extraneous. I'm going to leave you guys to do numbers 12 and 13 on your own, but I will give you the answers to number 12. So number 12 is going to be x equals 3. So when you write two of your equations, one of them will produce a false statement. And for number 13, you should have x is equal to negative 1/5. And again, something will happen in that one that will create a false statement, meaning there's only going to be one solution. So in regards to your homework, just do the best you can. You know, you guys can message me anytime you have a problem or are struggling. But here are the answers to your homework. So 35, you should get n is equal to 3 and 5. For 37, b is going to be equal to also 3 and 5. For 39, p is equal to 10 and 2/3. For 42, you should get a is equal to 1/2 and 5/2. And for 46 and 48, I'm gonna leave those to you to try on your own. The only help I'm gonna give you on 48 is it's slightly different from the poodle problem we did on page 18 and the cheerleading problem we did on page 17. So it says the recommended weight of a soccer ball is 430 grams. The actual weight is allowed to vary up to 20 grams. So the vary up to 20 grams is what's different because you're only really given one answer. So vary up to 20 grams, this is your constant amount. Whereas in the other two problems, we were actually given the two solutions, but now we're not given solutions. So we're given a recommended weight, and now that weight can vary 20 grams above that and 20 grams below that. So do the best you can to write your absolute value equations, and we can go over it on Friday when I return.